Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I'm just kidding. This is the first one of the new podcast. This is Jason Pollock of Hi, I'm Jason. But now it's something new. Now it's called the Offbeat and Awkward Show, which I feel represents the personality a little bit more, a little more honest than Hi, I'm Jason. I hated it, to be honest. I didn't like the name. And now we're gonna try the um the new intro music, which there will be words to eventually, but not yet. And then I'm going to bring out my first guest of the new show. Here we go. Well, that was anticlimactic, but fun. All right. I'm going to bring out my first guest. This guy is very kind to be here. Streaming all the way from Wyoming. He's got a very cool podcast called Next to the Lamp. And you can see him on all kinds of social media with Squids killing it. We'll have it up on screen so you know. I'm just going to bring him out there and stop being awkward. All right. Please give it up silently to yourself for Michael Armagost.
Hey, how's it going?
I should have rehearsed that intro, man.
That's okay. I never rehearse mine, and if people do go to the podcast Next to the Lamp, they'll understand that I am probably just as offbeat and awkward.
I love that. We have to be to do something like this.
Yeah, for real.
Michael, let's show that lamp. That was a really cool lamp. Unless you only want to save it for the show.
I mean, I could bring it over here. It's a little offbeat and awkward itself. Yeah, there you go.
That is a beautiful lamp.
Yeah, yeah. You can probably zoom in again. I think it's in frame there.
That's me. I'm learning this. I'm doing this sans producer.
For those of you just listening, it's a mineral oil lamp from the 60s and 70s. And
wow.
This is I
Oh shit. Hold on. I eliminated you from the screen. Sorry.
I'm back. I'm back.
All right, cool.
This is the weekend pass that I got for doing a festival called What Fest. It is stand-up comedy at What Fest. And
What's it called?
What Fest.
A what fest? I thought you said Wop Fest. I was like, it's a little offensive to Italian. Oh my god.
No, that's just my mispronunciation because I'm bad with words. And yeah, I was the first one to perform at that festival at stand-up comedy anyway, so that was pretty awesome, I guess. I hope I did well.
Well, you did your first festival though. Either way, that's exciting, man.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Like I said, I got an artist pass, dude, and that was like,
Very cool. Congratulations and welcome to the world of comedy festivals.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
It was way fun. I'll just have to I'm trying to do like the Instagram reels, the shorts of my stand-up set, but dude, my white balance in that video was not great. All right, because I filmed it myself, and like I said, the white balance because the spotlight was on me.
Yeah, I went to the doctor about my white balance. It was a little off.
Yeah, what'd they say? To give you a 3 or 4?
Yeah, they gave me a 3.
Yeah, it's a little off. 4 is where you want to be.
Yes. And we have some commenters already. Marianne Zagaro, I haven't seen in years, from San Diego, like the mineral lamp.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel like we're doing home shopping network.
Oh yeah.
And Cliff Tone, my buddy Cliff, can you guys do this after Ancient Aliens is over?
Man, Ancient Aliens, dude, I got so into that show for so long. It's crazy though. I mean, it makes sense, if you only have modern tools to do those things, even some of those things can't even be done. So it's like, ancient aliens.
I don't know. I mean, do you think aliens built the pyramids?
I mean, it's entirely possible, you know, like
I mean,
but
considering we had a girl on the show, prior show. Oh, by the way, Erica says, came for the content, staying for the lamb.
everybody does.
Well, I'm gonna keep you on the show. I mean, we're gonna keep viewers just because they're hypnotized by your minerals.
Yeah, it
But
is.
yeah, we had an astronomer on the show, and apparently the only I can't get these words out. The only proof we have of life on this planet is little bacteria from Mars that came on a space rock.
Hmm.
Unless we're missing something.
See, there's been a lot of theories, you know, and I listen to all of them and I take them into consideration, but it's nothing wholeheartedly, okay? But one of the discussions that they had was we were the meteor that killed the dinosaurs.
We were people.
Yeah, like we had a vessel of some kind and we hit Earth with it because we were escaping another planet. Because I mean, if you think about how old the system is, like human, even if we do, you know, believe or not believe in evolution, you know, there's still that aspect of it. But I mean, like 12,000 years ago, man, come on.
12,000. You think it's 12,000?
Oh, like when humans and all that stuff started being, you know, around. Obviously, dinosaurs much older than that. But if we think about how old the universe
Well, I
is,
mean, you're
how old
closer to the dinosaurs than I am. I'm in New Jersey and you're in Wyoming.
the first allosaur was found, you know, probably about 60 miles to the northwest of me. It's pretty cool.
Do you have a restaurant there called Allosaurus Restaurant? Because I so would do that if I lived in Wyoming.
Dude, our state dinosaur is the Stegosaurus.
I didn't know there were such things as state dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, ours is the Stegosaurus.
You know, you're my guest and you're the one I want to focus on. And I'm trying to focus on you and these. Jeff Black is saying, tell him to DVR the ancient aliens. I got to figure out the balance between the comments, who I'm appreciative of, and my amazing guest.
Yeah,
So I
you
want
know,
to put you on a
usually I
high
do it
line.
like while I'm talking, you know, you focus on that and then you obviously have a question prepared for, you know, the next time when that guy quits talking, but you know, that's what I don't yeah, that's what I do. But I have all Ancient Aliens on demand, all right? Just cuz they're on
Really?
yeah, I think they're on Hulu. So I just stream them on demand.
All right, I need to check this out so we can converse about this next time. Erica said, "Why are you trying to add even more guilt into my existence? I can't handle having killed the Brontosaurus."
My apologies. That's just a theory. Like I said, I don't take them wholeheartedly, but that's just something that has been said in amongst the communities. Another thing that's been said is like we were on Mars first. That's why we have some things from Mars, you know, and then we just came over here and started doing stuff.
Well, you know that's not really out of um that far out of the realm of possibility. The fact that a meteor carrying us as bacteria, or I almost said sperm, but it would be
It could be. I
it
mean, if
could
you
be
think of a comet with the tail on it, you know, that thing hits anywhere. It starts a new
the
life, that's for
the
sure.
universe's largest sperm.
Yeah, which ultimately is what Earth is right now, you know, because we're going through the galaxy kind of like this at a rate going like that, you know. So it's wild, man.
You just made a circular object into a phallic symbol. That was fascinating.
Yeah, my bad. For those of you listening, I'm just my hand, you know.
Oh yes, for anybody driving and listening right now, he's motioning his hand, not in the way that you'd think, but
I
um,
mean, if you know how the universe is right now, you know, we're just around the sun, around the universe.
we got off into a really good streak, and then we're losing it. We're losing it, man. Let's
Yeah,
get back. Let's get back to Next to the Lamp.
right.
All right, what's Tell me about your show. How did you get started doing this?
So, yeah, Next to the Lamp. It was a show started with me and a couple of friends. I've always had like music recording software and stuff like that. And around the time I started my podcast, which was April 1st, 2019, I was just, sitting around. Me and my friend, we'd get drunk, and he had a lamp kind of like this, but it was nothing like this. This lamp was destroyed. It had like the shade on it was like taped together, and it was like if you touched it, it would turn to dust, and it was a brass lamp, right? And it was sitting in between these two recliners, and we'd get drunk and we'd, recline and just talk about the universe. And I was like, man, it's crazy to think like all these crazy things. Like, we should turn this into a podcast so we can get a community of like-minded individuals. Usually I was like, no, let's not do that. And then I started a new job where I was just I was sitting at a desk, and I had, to data entry essentially and listen to podcasts. So I got really into podcasts. I listened to Your Mom's House podcast, and like Bad Friends, Whiskey Ginger. I mean, all of those podcasts, Harlan's Highway.
So
Don't
you
really
were
listen.
inspired by other podcasts.
Yeah, and me and my friend, like I said, we'd have deep conversations and stuff. So I started it, and he eventually left. So then one of my other friends came in who I have a really good chemistry with. Him and I, we could just riff on anything. So I did that for about 35 episodes or so, and then he got really busy. He had like a family and stuff, and like, ugh. So I let him do all of that business, and I kind of just kept the podcast going. And then it's like 2 years in, after episode 35, I started linking up with all these other music producers and hip hop artists and artists of all kinds. And I'm really music oriented. So I started interviewing them. And by the time, I still interview those types of people, but I got hooked up with Steve Joyner, and he's been sending me guests and crazy. And, one thing leads to another. And here I am as far as podcasts is concerned.
Great. So you kind of went off on from ancient aliens and Jurassic theories to music to everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Erica asked, "Have you listened to My Dad Wrote a Porno podcast?" I think he made a one-man show about that, didn't he?
I have not, but I will
Not
definitely.
you. No, not you.
No,
Oh, have you
I've heard of the
listened? You haven't
podcast.
listened.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it. But it sounds interesting. Sounds like a podcast I could potentially be a part of.
I could tell you that if it were me, my dad has not written a porno, and if he did, I don't want to know.
Yeah. I mean, the plots of most of them these days are just not there. Like they've been done a
Usually,
million times.
it's a woman stuck in a sink or a window or under a bed or a couch, and
Right.
it can only help her. I don't know why it couldn't be. Remember when it's always family now. I don't understand why it has to be a stepmom
Dude,
or a son.
we've just been exposed to so much stuff that like there's nothing to be exposed to. I'm surprised like the dark web isn't more easily accessible. Like just a Google Chrome browser, just dark web. Some people have that. My friend had that actually, and I was like,
But don't you have to download the Tor browser or something? And
yeah, there's a bunch of stuff you got to do, and I was
I
like,
haven't messed with that.
Yeah, I was like, I got a VPN. Like, I guess that's like the extent of my security, or like wanting to push the boundaries of that. Because I don't want to have to do any of that, I was like, what do you even have that for anyway? He's like, I don't know, looking for boats.
Looking for boats.
Yeah, I was like, why would
Black market boats. Those would be submarines, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't question it more than that. Like, the less I know, probably the better off I am. So I was like, okay, well, that's good for you, I guess. Good for you. He's like, dude, did you know that you could get literally these people will fly you drones. Like you send them your GPS coordinates of where you want it to be dropped, and they'll just fly a drone of drugs and just drop it right there. Is that crazy?
You couldn't leave well enough alone, couldn't you, Mike?
Yeah, dude, it's like Santa Claus, dude. You just put where that chimney is, dude, and just right down in there, dude. It's crazy, but
Wow. Yeah. I think it's better. The neurotic in me would definitely never go there.
yeah, I don't blame you. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. I'm way too busy building an empire.
I feel
Because
like living in Wyoming, though, besides building an empire in the house, but as soon as you walk outside, you have to be on guard with all your wild animals.
yeah, I have a hip holstered 45 that I usually carry on me, but not in my house. Luckily, I've wrestled all of them into submission. I said, "All right, I'm the big dog around here." Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like living there is like living in Australia or Florida or somewhere where you can't leave the house without encountering some form of wildlife other than squirrels or birds.
Yeah. Luckily, I live in the middle of a city, so I get deer occasionally, but even then, it's not too bad.
Now, when you say city, I don't know anything about Wyoming except for Yellowstone and Devil's Tower and all that fun stuff.
So
When
here,
you
the
say
big
city,
city is 15,000 people, dog. I tell you what, buddy, those 15,000 people, you still get into some trouble.
and you're all carrying when you go outside?
Pretty much. Besides the old people, like I'll cap a deer for an old person. That's
How
just
could
my
you do
good
that?
citizen deed. I don't gotta shoot a deer.
They
Easily,
just
all I need is
they're so
cock the
but
gun and
you feed your family with it.
I don't have a family, I feed me with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I do all the processing too, like, I
Yeah,
know
when
how
I
to
talked to you before, you said you could feed an elk, feed an elk. You'd feed your family an elk for a year.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. I mean, obviously with the occasional, chicken and salads and stuff like that, but yeah.
Oh, you got to mix it up. It's not just pure elk.
No, it's not just
Y-
pure elk. I mean, yeah, anybody would get tired of pure beef all the time.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, you can feed a family with elk. I just did some elk barbacoa. Boy, I tell you what, that's a
What's
smack your
barbacoa?
grandma meal right there, buddy.
Now, what is barbacoa?
Like street tacos. Um,
Okay, that sounds really good.
dude, it's
See,
so good.
I can't even put a minnow on a hook. I feel guilty. I had to kill a spider in the middle of the night last night. He broke the rules. He showed up in my house. Can't have that.
I usually save spiders. I'll put them outside my door actually, because like we have wolf spiders and stuff like that. We don't really have many poisonous spiders. Occasional black widow, but you get to a hospital like enough time, you'll be fine.
That's such a lackadaisical attitude about Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean most modern medicine, like you take care of that in a jiff.
That would you have to get? Would you have? You're so calm. I would have to burn my house down if I had a Black Widow in there.
Dude, I used
And
to.
let me do here. I'm your significant other if there was one, and I wake you up, honey, Michael, killing it. There's a Black Widow in the hallway. Could you take care of it for me?
Yeah, no problem. I'll get to it tomorrow.
Wow, that's really calm. No, you do the other way around.
Uh, honey, uh, Mr. Pollock, there's
That's
there's a
respect.
there's a black widow in the hallway.
Pack your stuff. We're leaving.
Right now?
Look, we're let me call. I'll pack your stuff. You start calling hotels. We're gonna get out. I'll call the exterminator in the morning.
But don't you know that most hotels have more black widows than like actual houses do?
Where are you getting these facts?
It's the internet. I saw it. It was in Teen Magazine. Actually, I read it with my own 2 eyes.
What kind of teen magazines do they have in Wyoming that they have articles about black widows and hotels ratio compared
Actually,
to
more of a
houses?
National Geographic, but you know.
That was a great role play. We'll give it up for Michael Armagost, everybody.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I do the best I can.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm really good at improv. Yes, ending.
Yes, ending. Oh, you know the first rule of improv. Make
Yeah.
it up. I mean, yes, and.
Yeah. And dude, and most of the time it gets out of hand because I will say anything. That's what most of my podcast was at the beginning. Like the first 35 episodes is just me and my friend yes anding.
Yes, and do you still talk to him, or did you
Oh yeah, we talk.
part
We
ways?
talk. He's just busy. He's a tow
So he's
truck
not a
driver.
co-host.
Nah, not a co-host, but yeah, he's still around doing his thing, being with his family and stuff, living his best life or whatever.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, actually, I just had to loan him some tools because he was doing laminate floor in his house and he didn't know how to really do it. So I went over there and I whapped him up a good one. I whapped my finger. Still an insurance claim on that one, actually. So if you're listening right now, buddy, they're coming after you. More so your insurance because I whapped it a good one. My thumb too, man. My most useful
So you're
finger.
suing your friend?
Yeah, I'm suing my friend. Actually, his insurance company because I whapped my finger. He has homeowners. That's how that works.
By whapping, you mean hammering?
Yeah, I was hammering and then I whapped it.
Everything starts with a W. Every exclamation or
Yeah,
slang in Wyoming, it's all. I whapped it in Wyoming.
not that wet ass, p word that they say in the music these days, but whap, like a hit,
Like,
a strike.
ow!
Yep, yep. You've been there. You whapped. You gotta
I
have
whapped. I try to whap every day before work. Hey.
not like Fetty whap either, but like anyways, yeah, let's move on. That's it. Yeah, so I'm having a good time here in Wyoming. Just mostly doing music production. I've been doing a lot of videography production.
You're
I
shooting
just
videos,
shooting
like
videos,
music videos.
music videos. I just finished a politician video, so his "Vote for Me" video was made by me, so that's pretty
No
cool.
way. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that
Do you
was
support the candidate, or you just like, you pay me, I'll do it. I don't care what side you're on.
both. You know, he's all about mental health and physical health as well. So like, can't go wrong with that. He's a kickboxing instructor right now, so
Wow.
yeah.
What is he running for?
School board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran for city council.
Did you really?
I did.
And is this why you're doing this now? It didn't work out, or did you do your time?
No, I ran for city council this year. And I had a lot of opportunities and city council paid like $120 a session and it was every Tuesday for like 5 hours and I was like, dog, I'm be making more money and donating more money. And that's what I do. I make more money and I donate more money. Which is ultimately what I wanted to do in the first place was help my community. So
Michael, you're a good person. That's impressive.
uh I would go
Unless this is making up for bad things you've done in the past that we don't talk about
No, I'll
until
talk
the
about
After
everything.
Dark show.
I'm an open book, man. I don't have any secrets. You guys can ask me whatever. Yeah, I did. I did vandalize some stuff. I did do my time. All right, I got probation, and I've learned a
We
lot
all
of
did stupid
lessons.
things when we were younger.
Yeah, I was 14. I got arrested 5 times, and then I
Oh
decided
my
to focus
God.
my energy. Yeah, I decided to focus my energy elsewhere, and that was making money to give back to my community.
Good for you, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, so reformed criminal, I guess.
And you started criminal. You started crime at a young age, so you were still old enough to appreciate your not being in jail.
Yeah, I did, sometime when I was a kid, so I was like,
Yeah, but
yeah.
what was it like juvie? It wasn't jail because you were under 18, right?
The first one was, um, like a boys' home. It was more so like a counseling center, for at-risk youth. And then the second one was, Worland, which is like the second worst kid jail in the nation. And then I was in there with kids that were like, I was like, "Hey man, like, what are you in?" This guy's like, "Oh, I was selling drugs or whatever." And it's like, "Oh yeah, what are you in?" I just murdered my parents. Nothing crazy. It's like,
Oh my
you
god!
just
What?
murdered your
And
parents.
you wrote your name on a wall in spray paint, right?
No, I just never really cared about much, you know. So I was just a jerk to everyone all the time. Teachers, parents, whatever. Didn't really matter. I was just a jerk.
You were just like a dick,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
So did
yeah,
you go to
and
jail for being a dick? I love it. That's
it
Wyoming. Was
yeah,
this Wyoming?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They were like, "Well, the other 4 kids are cool, so let's just send this one away."
What'd you do? I murdered my parents. What'd you do? I was a dick.
Yeah, dude, seriously, and they turned out that I was sent to Warland accidentally. I was supposed to go to another place halfway across the nation, and, I was there for 2 weeks, so learned a
They
lot of
sent you
criminal
to like
stuff.
the Alcatraz of kids'
Yeah, seriously,
boys'
and
homes.
when I got sent to that other place, like a few weeks after I was there, one of those kids I met at that really bad place, he got sent to the same place I was at. So he's like, "Hey man, what's up?" Yeah. He stabbed a dude in the mall when he
Oh
was
my god!
13, 12 or 13. But yeah.
Was he just trying to rob the guy?
No, it was a gang thing.
That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, it's a gang thing. He stabbed a dude in the mall like 13 times. Dude lived, so that's why he
Well, that's
was.
good. He doesn't have murder in his conscience.
Yeah. And so dude was like 17 and he was tall as hell. He was like 6'5", 6'6".
Wow.
Yeah,
He didn't
big
even
dude.
need the knife. He could have just intimidated him.
That's what I said. But yeah, he was 13, he stabbed like a 26-year-old dude.
Jesus.
Yeah. I know. That's what I said.
It took me years to tell my parents I cut class once. I couldn't imagine.
Stab.
I once, me and some friends moved. I feel so vanilla compared to all this, but we moved a real estate sign that was for sale, a house for sale to another house down the block.
Oh man.
Yeah,
You
that
clown
was,
kids.
I know, we're crazy, or it was a gang initiation.
Oh man.
No, no, it wasn't. I didn't belong to any gang because look at me.
I mean, I've been alone a lot, so I don't really need gangs. I make
Yeah,
my own
gangs
money.
are. I've never been part of a gang. I mean, I've never even had a clique.
I'm never gonna have friends.
Yeah, I had like one or two growing up, and I different cliques all over the place.
Well, gangs in Wyoming are just laughable. Like when I was in SoCal until I was 10. So like
Gangs
I
in Wyoming are called a herd, right?
yeah, yeah, pretty much. And it's like I think in Rollins it was like 4 people or more was considered a gang.
And what makes it like what is under four? Is it a gaggle?
I guess. I don't know. Three's a party, you know.
A gang consists of four or more people. Okay.
Yep, yep. And in Laramie, I think it's 5 or more people. So don't
Oh,
have.
so it's different per town.
Yeah, yeah. It's all whatever. But
I could see some kind of really weird gang war in Wyoming. Where you from? Well, I'm from Laramie. I'm in a gang. No, you're
well, like
not.
in Laramie doesn't have gangs, as far as I'm
Oh.
aware. We don't have gangs here, which is great. But in Rollins, which is like 120 miles to the west of us, right? They had when I was going to school there, they had the West Side Gang or the South Side Gang, right? And I never heard of any other Cardinal Direction gang there, right? Because I was like, okay, you're the South Side Gang. Who are you against? And
What do they do as a gang? They just was it a group of friends who said we're gonna start a gang, and it's more like a youth group?
no, there were a Hispanic population there. It was pretty large, so like it was mostly Hispanic people, but it was also people that lived south of the railroad track there.
The wrong side of the tracks. Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
dude, no doubt. When I was in summer school for one summer, they went to the park as like a field trip, right? And I'm standing there at this park. I'm in like 8th grade, 9th grade, so I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing at this park. Like, why am I even at this summer school? And I just look down and there's just a used condom just chilling. It's like, yeah, that represents this part of the city real good.
In other words, that part of the city people get laid
I guess.
cautiously. People practice safe sex is what you're missing.
I guess. Yeah, I didn't look at the positives, just the O negatives.
Just the O negatives.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a DNA joke for you.
I
All right.
like it.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame you didn't do that on the 45-minute mark. We could have been like, and that's it. We'll end here. Now we got to come up with a good line in the next 15 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm full of them. All right, I'm
Hey,
full of them.
Scott Curtis from Behind the Bits tuned in, and
Hey.
Gary Allen from his podcast Main Street.
Oh, nice, Gary Allen. Dude, I have a lot of stories like that, but to get back to Killing It Productions, I started Squid's Killing It Productions because I've always been intrigued with music and being from SoCal for the first 10 years of my life, as we discussed earlier. I was really into hip hop. I really like the song "One Week" by Bare Naked Ladies. All right, hold on a second before y'all go crazy. Like, that's not hip hop. There was that part of the
I was
song
just
where
gonna
he
say,
raps, and I was like,
look at the
that
tiny
part.
amount of Chinese chicken.
Yeah,
That part.
that part. I was like, yo, that part was dope. And then like the rest of the song, whatever, I don't really care about. And I was watching pop up videos with VH1, pop up videos, right? And
Thanks for the yeah.
they had Bare Naked Ladies 1 week, and right after that was Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
And
And that
this is why your family moved you to Wyoming, because you listened to 1 week and you said, "Man, this jam is dope," as if it were rap. And they said, "You're way too white to be living here. We're gonna move you to Wyoming. You'll fit right in."
dude, my parents loved country music. Mostly my stepdad actually loved country music. My mom was more of like REO Speedwagon and Journey and Foreigner and Air Supply, those bands. And she was
Classic 80s.
yeah, she was an 80s child. My dad was a 70s child. My stepdad was a 70s child. My real dad, I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than he was Hispanic. And that's about it. I saw my half siblings like on that side of the family. I just gotta say, y'all, you didn't get the good end of the stick. I'll tell you that. Just by looks alone, y'all didn't get the good end of the stick. Oh man, like if I was even worse looking than I am now, dude, I would seal the door to this basement and I would never come out.
Look, Squids, you're not a bad looking guy.
That's just the camera adds 10 to 15 plus in looks, right?
And look, that's what it is. It adds looks.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a filter on right now and like that's the best I can make the
I
filter.
do notice your face is hidden behind headphones, glasses, a hat, and a giant microphone. The
Yep,
microphone isn't even it's not even hooked up. You're just hiding your face.
that is true. Yeah, yeah, it's not even hooked up. But yeah, so I started Squid's Killing It Productions because I played the trumpet for 9 years, and
The
I also played.
trumpet.
Yeah, I was in band. I was a band geek. Got music theory down pretty well. Learned how to read sheet music all crazy, and started playing
That's very cool.
other instruments like drums and piano and stuff. And when I graduated high school, I wanted to become an English teacher to help at-risk youth like myself, and English was like my best subject. So I went to college as an English teacher and then started producing music because I got really into dubstep and I was like, I could totally produce this. I was wrong. Sound design is hard, but I learned it, and I started producing music. I didn't finish college and was just like, yeah, I think
But you
music.
survived.
Yeah, I just became a workhorse and worked and did music stuff. Made some music for some people in town. Didn't really have much seriousness about it, but when on the Sound Advice tour that Kato on the track had, where he taught people how to make money from the music industry, how to sell beats and stuff like that. And I made an LLC in 2020, which is a great time to make an entertainment LLC, is right before a pandemic, especially a music one. Because then, all your opportunities are just out the window. And didn't throw concerts or anything for a year and a half or so. And as of lately, things have been picking up. And
I was going to say, have they been picking up since the pandemic is now over?
yeah, they have been. Wyoming was never really, we didn't really care. There was a point in time where the masks were mandatory in the city. Stand 6 feet apart, this, that, and the other thing. But it was only like 6 months, maybe.
Oh yeah, it's very country out there.
Yeah, my next door neighbor's 100 yards away. So I'm like, that's 6 feet, right?
I remember going. I decided, I'm going to get out of the house. We're going to go hiking. We drove 3 hours to upstate New York, and trails were closed because of the distance between people. I was like, it's a freaking mountain. But then from the road, you could see lines of people waiting to get on the trail. It was mental.
That's crazy. I didn't
I
have that problem.
know.
I could just drive out to the mountains, and things were great.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I
So
can't
let me ask you where you got the name Squids from. Were you just all arms when it came to groping women, or do you have multiple arms, tentacles?
Squids, because I have my hands in a bunch of different opportunities as a business. You know what I'm saying? My
Oh, it
portfolio
is a
is
metaphor.
diversified. You know what I'm saying? Very diversified portfolio. So there's
That's
that.
clever. I like it. Squid's killing it.
But my original DJ name was Neon Squid, and when I got to the point of making my company, I wanted to base it off Neon Squid. But I found out there was a DJ in the UK who was releasing music named Neon Squid Autopsy. So to set myself apart from him, I had to do a rebranding, a name change. I wanted to keep the squids because I am petrified of the ocean, but I still donate to places to clean up the ocean for many different reasons, mainly for your children's future, because I won't have any. And so I,
I think secretly you are an animal lover.
Sharks, cut all the fins off them damn things. All right, they don't need to move around the ocean. Orcas, put them all in tanks. That's all I'm saying. They all just captured orcas, put them in tanks. But the rest of the ocean seems to be pretty cool.
We just lost 5 listeners at that.
I'm sure you did. I'm just kidding, people. I'm just kidding. Comedians, what I got to do. But cleaning up the ocean has always been something that's fascinated me. I'm afraid of it, but I don't push past the norm to be outside my comfort zone. So I wanted to keep the squids, and I was like, okay, well, what do you want to be doing all the time, right? You want to be doing it great? You want to be doing it the best. You just want to be killing it.
There we go.
Squid's killing it, and then Killing It Productions. Because if you're not doing it unless you're killing it.
Very positive. Very good, Mr. Squid's killing it.
Yeah.
That was your confirmation name, I'm assuming too, wasn't it?
Well, it was also the only name that wasn't taken.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's the only one I can think of. I'm trying to create a hip hop name for myself right now too, and I just don't know.
Squid, you got to include Squid's killing it or Squids because it's so you branded yourself Squid.
I know. That's gonna be my production name. So I'll collect royalties on both ends, but I just want to. I don't know. I feel like more people would give me more respect if I had a different name.
Squids, you're not going to get more respect because nobody respects you now.
That's the see. I can't. Well, I can't get any less respect, so I guess I could, do whatever. I mean, that's kind of like how Lil Dicky got his name, right? He wanted to be funny, and he wanted to be double entendre, I guess. So that's why he got his name, Lil Dicky.
Little Dicky.
Yeah.
That is adorable. And with a name like that, he doesn't need a sports car because it's irony. I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have a couple names, but I don't know. They just don't fit my vibe.
They don't fit your vibe.
Yeah.
You're still looking for names?
Yeah. Yeah. So I do the random word generator every so often.
What is that?
You just pick how many words you want, and you hit random, and it just random words. So that's how Childish Gambino got his name, is he did the random word generator, and it did Childish Gambino.
Oh, it's an app.
It's an app, yeah.
I'm so out of touch.
Yeah, so a lot of the names for my tracks are usually the first things that come to my mind. So I have one that's called Unapologetically Yours, which is pretty nice.
I like that.
The last one I released was really good, and I forget what it's named actually, because I have it named something different in my production than what I actually named it on the apps, and I forget what it's called. But it was my best one to date, actually. A lot of positive feedback on that.
And you can't remember it. You have it written down though somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
It's all right. It's all right, Squids. I'd give you a hug if I were there. You're suffering.
I know. But it's all a lot. The Connection is what it's called.
The Connection is your
Yep.
DJ name?
No, Squid's Killing It's my DJ name. The Connection was the last single I released as a lo-fi hip hop track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I have an EP.
Can people hear your stuff on killingitproductions.com?
They can hear my stuff at killingitproductions.com. They can buy my beats there if they have somebody that is an artist that they know. I can also produce any type of music they want. If they have a song in mind, they're like, yeah, I want it to sound something like this, then I can usually replicate something like that, and I can go from there. So
That's great.
Yeah, I have fun with it. But
Good
yeah,
for you, man.
most of my stuff is lo-fi hip hop to help those people with like anxiety and depression and stuff like that, because it's really easy to sit there and think about stuff if it's just like lo-fi hip hop in the background.
It's good background music to de-stress too.
Yep. A lot of people listen to it while they're studying, so that's good.
And people use your music for that as well.
Yeah.
See, that's a compliment.
It is. I really enjoy making music for those people, and I've always, the jazz influence. That's why I wanted to play the trumpet. Was I love jazz music, and ska music.
See, I love ska, but if I were playing something and people were using it as background music, I would get like, "Are you listening?" I took me a long time to learn this.
See, my ultimate goal is to be in every elevator in North America.
If anybody out there listening has any connections in the elevator music industry,
Yeah,
please hook
definitely.
my friend Squids up.
Dude, if I get a connection for every elevator in North America because of this podcast, bro,
Every
you would be invited for a second episode on my podcast.
Wow. When is I had such a good time doing your show. When is that going to air?
Probably in the middle of October.
And I heard you have my friend Brooke on.
Yes, Brooke is an amazing person. I'm excited to talk to her. That is actually going to be tomorrow for me.
You're recording it, right? And it'll
Yep, I'll be
air
recording it
sometime in
tomorrow.
October or November.
Yep, yep. I'm super excited for that one. We got a lot to talk about because it's intriguing.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. I'll tell you the story real quick. My
Yes.
friend Brooke, who's my friend John's girlfriend, who I met for the first time when I went out to visit John in California, San Francisco, and she's from Wyoming or South Dakota. Was she from Wyoming?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she did a documentary out there about the high suicide rate and decided to lighten things up and try comedy at an open mic where she bumped into you or you
Yeah.
happened to see her on stage. And then we got introduced by Steve Joyner, and I happened to mention, "Oh, I have a friend who was just in Wyoming doing a documentary out there about suicide." And you're like, "I met her." It's a huge state, but a small population is what you proved by saying that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and that was crazy, dude. I was baffled.
yeah, when I told her I heard you tried comedy, she was like, "John, did you say something?" And he said no, because it was supposed to be a private thing.
Yeah, my mistake, Brooke. If you're listening to this now, I guess I didn't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And from what I remember, it was not bad either. I mean, like I said,
It's
she was
pretty
not
good
the
and
worst
not
one.
bad. Wow.
Yeah, she was not the worst one that went on that night. So that's a
That's
plus.
great. That is a plus.
Yeah,
Well, Squids, you want to be called Squids or Mike or Killing It?
I'll take a quote out of one of my favorite movies. You can call me Susan if it makes you happy. That's Bullet Tooth Tony.
What?
That's Bullet Tooth Tony.
Bullet Tooth Tony. What is that? I know that.
Snatch.
That's right. God, I haven't seen that in years.
Dude, it's my favorite movie.
I used to hate Guy Ritchie movies. I still don't. Just so pretentious. I don't know. So like Quentin Tarantino wannabe.
Yeah.
But I know my wife loves his movies too.
Dude, I love his movies. I wasn't so keen of Smoking Aces.
I like that one. That was a cool
Maybe
story about
Lock, Stock, and
Hitman.
Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, that one annoyed me.
Yeah, okay.
That was the one I saw that I was like, look at this Quentin Tarantino wannabe.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't really like that one, but Smoking Aces was fine.
Yeah,
I
that
knew it
was
was one of those two. I only watched them like 2 or 3 times. So, I watched Snatch like a million times.
I gotta see that again because Laura was telling me, my wife, that was. If I say Laura, I'm referring to my wife, not another girl named Laura, because otherwise I'd say my mistress or friend or
I don't
something.
know. It's your life, dog. You do you.
Okay, thanks.
I don't judge. All right. I once
Oh,
vandalized a guy's house for hitting me with the door. So, like, you do you.
you vandalized the guy's house for hitting you with a door.
Yeah, when I was 14, bro.
Oh, you were 14. All right.
I egged the shit out of his house.
What do you mean he hit you with a door? Was he carrying a door and whacked you with it?
Nope, 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 nope. I was at a bus stop, and our bus stop was at an elementary school, to ship us to the next town for our school. And I was standing at the door. It was cold as hell, so I was trying not to get frostbitten. So I was in this. They had like this little, thing where the doors of the school were. Okay, and I was standing in
Right.
this corner. Okay, he opens the door and he bashes me. Whatever. There's not a window in the door or nothing, right? It's just a solid metal door. My bad for standing there, okay? My
So
bad.
it was an accident.
It was an accident. I let that shit slide. He sees me after he bashes me with the door, obviously because he couldn't open the door as much as he wanted to. He was going to go set the flags up. He was the janitor here. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm still standing there. Okay? That's probably my bad. But instead of opening the door to get his body through it, he slams that shit open and bashes me with the door, I assume intentionally. So I've always had insomnia. I never slept. Never sleep now. And I got some eggs, it's probably like a dozen.
How did
And
you know where you lived?
it was a small town, bro.
Oh, that's right. It's Wyoming.
Yeah. He only lived 2 or 3 blocks away from me. So it was like 1:00 in the morning. I was 14, snuck out of my house, and I egged the shit out of his house.
Well, he did slam a child with the door, so he should have watched where he was going.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, intentionally, I assume. If it wasn't intentional, sorry, bruh. I assume he's dead now because he was pretty old then. And they arrested. Yeah,
He might have died trying to scrub the egg, which
I don't know.
froze.
I assume not. It was in summertime. It was probably still fresh when he woke up, or he heard it hitting the glass and he woke up and was able to clean it up. But they were gonna make me clean it up, and I was like, I ain't cleaning that up. And they're like, all right, well, you get 6 months probation, and I think it was
You
like 40
punk.
hours community service.
He shouldn't have hit you with the door. Bottom line, don't hit kids with
I was like,
doors.
can I
You're
like
gonna get egged.
press charges on him for battery for bashing me with a door?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they didn't. I was like, fine, I'll just do my time. Did my time, and the second time I got arrested, I was at my friend's house after curfew, and I had to walk home because I was 14 and not 16. I got arrested and 6 months probation and another 40
Oh
hours community
man.
service. Yeah. So don't go
Well,
to Singapore.
that's another life. That was lifetimes ago.
Dude, I'm 31 now, and I'm just like, I barely have the energy to do anything.
That's
Yeah.
why I was kind of late getting on to you because I woke up from a nap and then was like, oh, I gotta entertain.
Yeah, dude. I was putting linseed oil on my fence, on my wood fence that I got. I got a 6-foot fence. And I was spraying the bottom side of it, right? And I was bent down to spray it because you have to hold it flat, right? So I bent down. When I went to stand up again, dude, my knee almost gave out, bro. I was like, like
No,
I've gone up and down 31 years.
you're
Now.
only 31.
Yeah. So that just proves I got to do more squats or something, man. Like I got to do something because I got a desk job and I, edit podcasts and videos and
Do you
everything
get the
else.
blood flowing? Do you take time to walk around or stretch or?
Yeah, I walk my dogs in the evenings and stuff, but it's not enough.
No, I mean you're lucky. You obviously have high metabolism.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're lucky.
but my cholesterol's still high from what my doctors say. So I'll die in my chair, heart attack, probably
Next to the
tomorrow,
lamp.
next to the lamp.
I'm gonna save this and freeze frame that because if something happens to you, I'll use that picture as a memorial.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, play that on my
God
shirt.
forbid, that'd be awful. You're fun to have on, you're fun to talk to,
Yeah, thanks,
and,
man. I do the best I can. I like to connect with people. I mean, I talk to people all the time, so it's just really fun.
awesome, and thank you so much for being here, Squids, AKA Michael or Susan, and, don't forget to check Mike out at killinitproductions.com and or Squids Killing It. You could find him at Squids Killing It. There shouldn't be a space there if you're putting an app before it, but if you want to find him on Instagram, on Facebook, on OnlyFans, Squids Killing It.
Yeah, if you type "Squids Killing It" into Google, I'm the only thing that pops up.
And it's Squids with a Z. Don't forget that important Z, not the S. And next to the lamp is the podcast, which you could hear me on. We'll talk very inappropriately about suicide.
Yeah, life's crazy, man. Life's crazy.
Life is crazy. And thank you again for being on my first episode of the Offbeat and Awkward show.
Of
Squids, you're a gem, man. That's how I end all my shows, by saying you're a gem. I
Okay.
know it's the first one, so it looks like it'll be a thing.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for being here. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.